welcome back to another episode of Sinister's Horror Stash. Welcome to Primetime here on the Welcome to Primetime YouTube channel. I am your host, Alec Miller, Sinister Alec Miller, and I'm joined as always by my man, Hunter Chambliss. What's going on, man?
How's it going, guys? Yes, I am back again with another Sinister's Horror Stash, and the movie we are pulling out from the stash today is 2024's Infested. We're also joined by John Maher, who was on last week's episode. John, how you doing today?
Doing good. It's a little bit different than last week. This movie, I believe we all like. And it's a very, very good debut of a French director. You know, I'm big on French horror in general.
Yeah.
Infested's great. But we'll get more into what I love, especially about this. Let you guys finish your opening. Go right ahead.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for joining us again. And hopefully we can make up for making you watch Blood again, by talking about Infested, which great horror movie, great French horror movie. I'm actually the opposite of you. I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, I haven't seen that many, but the ones that I have seen, the French horror movies I have seen, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it's the extreme. The one that I always bring to mind is Inside. Like, I watch it and I know why. Like, it's a classic. I'm not the big. I don't enjoy the extremity. I think is where it kind of gets me. So, but this one I enjoyed quite a bit. Infested, directed by Sebastian Vanisek. I'm probably butchering his name because I don't speak French. But Sebastian Vanisek, written by Florent Bernard and Sebastian as well. Starring Theo Christine as Khalib. Khalib, I know it's Caleb, but I know they're pronouncing it Khalib, so I wanted to say it. And so yeah, these are a bunch of actors I don't know, but you know what? They did a great job. You have Sophia. I don't even want to say these names. Lessa Frey for played Lila. Jerome Neal, Mathis, Lisa Nyarko played Manon, and then others. And yeah, this cast, the cast is really good in this movie. I am terrified of spiders. Arachnophobia is one of my favorite movies that I'll never watch again. Jeff Daniels in it. I have a lot of fun with it, but I'm too scared of spiders. And this one definitely triggered that for me. All the scenes of the spiders are scary, are creepy. I was watching it with my girlfriend, with my fiance, and she was like asking me a bunch of questions about the spiders. She was like, "Are they intelligent? Like, are they like alien?" I was like, "No, it's just a spider. Just a spider that's found. It's aggressive. It just mates and multiplies, reproduces at an extreme rate. But other than that, it's just spiders, and it completely works."
Yeah, this movie came out within a few weeks of Sting, which is another Spider movie that came out this year. But they could not be more different. Sting is that as it eats, it gets bigger. And Infested is more accurate that this spider just gets out, and all of a sudden there's like
Infested are this generation's Arachnophobia and eight-legged freaks.
The number of scenes that genuinely had my skin crawling. Like, I wasn't even my girlfriend, the way she was reacting was she was more vocal. I was more gritting my teeth.
That bathroom scene got me.
I did not want to move at all.
It's very they get the movement of vermin very accurate. Like, they're coming out of ducts, they're coming out of drains, they're coming under
everywhere.
It's literally there's literally no escape. Like, any hole, they'll get through it and get to you, which is terrifying. You know, it's just the way it is. And the fact that they basically take over portions of the building, and it's just webs, and there's a lot of great lighting tricks in this movie where things are lit and then not lit, and they're trying to find lighting sources, and it's lit and not lit, and the spiders are doing like red light, green light. It's great.
Yeah, you're definitely
Yeah.
like you're constantly looking in the background, and like the slightest movement, it's either like a web or it's a spider in the background. Like it definitely has you like looking close, and then whenever you realize what it is, you just kind of like like and you kind of like freeze. That's how I was the entire movie. Like I was just on edge the entire movie.
And what I tell people is like it's also kind of reminiscent because it's not just that the building is infested.
Ties into a lot of underlying themes. Talk about even though I do think that is kind of played out, especially recently. Like you always have a sibling here, but I think it still works for this movie. The ending is really, really good.
movies didn't take place in this apartment complex. I definitely got a little bit more excited because I do like those one location horror movies. You telling me that the Sebastian Vanecek's gonna be doing the next Evil Dead has me really excited because I love the Evil Dead franchise, and that I noticed and I liked about the spiders. I loved and I know for me, like one of my with the spiders, the way they move, like every time they moved, you could hear it, and it felt like it was. And one thing I wasn't about this movie is they. movie's great. I'm never gonna watch it again because I'm still like. Was literally like speaking to me, and I was just like, yeah, and I couldn't talk because I could not. But you mentioned it earlier, and I want to touch on it too. The kind of like political, the class the class issue that's brought up. I really felt it, and I really started to like understand what they were going for. It was that scene with the when they were in the garage, and that's like the police chief's talking to him, and there's a point where they're like you can kind of see like where he's coming from. Like this guy's clearly just taking orders, but it's with absolutely like no heart. There's no humanity in these decisions being made, and they're just they're just like throwing them around. They're just beating the shit out of them. The police. So it's very off-putting and very in your face, like as an American, because you see like when the smallest thing happens, we have that everyone knows about these things now and speaks out about them, but just over there it's in different places it's totally different. And you feel that. I think you really feel that with a lot of foreign horror movies that touch on like law enforcement and the political sides of their of the countries. I felt that with When Evil Lurks too.
Yeah,
like how the police just are completely different, and and yeah, like the poverty aspect, how the lower class is kind of forgotten. Is kind of these things happen whenever they're locked in. They're trying to find some way to call somebody or see if anyone's talking about it, and they're literally looking and no one's talking about it. No one even knows what's going on, and like seeing that, I'm thinking like that's completely true. Like the world is so huge. There's not everything's going to be reported, and these people are being eaten alive, eaten, and completely taken over by these spiders, and there's no one that even knows what's happening. And that's it. Just like as someone who grew up and came from like smaller and lower classes, like that is you're gonna see,
yeah, definitely. Pretty active. Counted in this movie.
Maybe
I imagine it's not like a crazy budget.
nah, and I think you were right about the. These large spiders that were kind of treating them the way we're treating the other ones. The large spiders kind of don't do much. Scattering. That was the most.
Yeah.
It's not too bad of a budget, but larger spiders.
Like, yeah, when they're climbing into the van at the end.
It's like if I have to point something out that didn't work, like that's he pulled off this.
Yep, he's selling shoes.
He's got a fascination with turn the air on, and it was making it too cold in the room. Like he genuinely cares about the animals. He's got like issues with different people. The character feels human. It feels complete.
guys, this is a spoiler alert from this moment forward. But it is on Shudder. Go.
That probably might have been the scene that had me like most on edge, for sure. And then the bathroom scene, that one, the way I was get it, like that's such a mundane task.
It from one mundane task, they add elements that really
And then that ending scene with the big action, and it felt a final. The two armies. For the spiders to come out, and then right when you're like, I'm sitting back like this, and then I'm like,
about this whole in action scene, since that was your favorite scene of the movie. Talk about what you loved about it.
Well, the fact that like, okay, you know what's coming. So they have to hide amongst the armed people who are losing. Sequence underlying it. It's really well shot.
yeah, and like you said, they're completely
flowers.
Intense, like on but the film is amazing.
A movie.
I
Yeah,
love that line.
Yeah.
Because
People
as
do.
someone who lost a father, that hits home. You never forget a parent. So
And people grieve differently. People
mhm.
People grieve differently, and so there's a large grief kind of trend happening in horror movies. But this works. I mean, it hits. So when you can nail it, you nail it.
100%.
All right, so let's go ahead and announce the movie for next week's episode. We're going to be doing 2024's Immaculate, starring Sydney Sweeney. Sweeney of Euphoria fame. She's having a rise right now. She's having a little bit of a surge.
She was in Madam Web.
She was.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Which they all look like.
She's an actress who can make fun of herself, and I appreciate that in an actor.
Yeah, I think the more I'm seeing of her, because all I knew her was from. I knew she was in Euphoria. I never watched Euphoria. I don't really.
Euphoria is so good.
It's something where I'm like, I've seen my girlfriend watching it, and I've probably seen episodes, and I'm just kind of like, when I'm watching, I'm intrigued, but I don't think I'm not that intrigued. I don't think I relate. Like I don't feel relatable to those characters. So I don't enjoy it, but more of her kind of like in the public eye. So I've seen her SNL, some of her SNL stuff. I mean, I am starting to like and enjoy her more. And from what I've heard, Immaculate is that she's pretty, that she's good, that she's really good in it. So I'm excited to see it. Let's go ahead and get out of here. John, you want to go ahead and tell them where to find you at?
Yeah. Why We Love Horror. That's WWL Horror, both here on YouTube and WWL Horror on TikTok. Yeah, on Mondays we got Versus. Thursdays we got the regular Why We Love Horror show, and then Hunter and I go live on YouTube, TikTok, X, and Facebook on your weekly horror headlines. Get your news from us. And then every Friday, Why We Love Horror trivia. Check it all out on the Why We Love Horror channel on YouTube.
Yeah, and Hunter, welcome to Primetime. What you got coming this week?
Welcome to Primetime. We have the podcast coming out. We have the 80s horror bracket 2 coming out very soon. And then we're doing our 70s bracket. We're trying to determine what is the greatest horror movie of all time. So we're going through the decades. We have 2020s, 2010s, 2000s, 90s, and 80s. So check out those as well. We also have Sinister's Horror Stash every single week. We also have the Welcome to Primetime podcast, which is coming back with X and Pearl. So check that one out.
Just in time for Maxine. And yeah, you can catch me here for Sinister's Horror Stash, talking all things horror, all these horror movies we're watching. I'm having fun going on this ride, and I'm looking forward to continuing this. But yeah, catch us next week for Immaculate, and we will see you guys later. Stay scared.